Oh, it's a cold one today. So, the Giant Reign. How am I getting on with it? Well, within a week, in the first week of ownership, try to return it. First impressions were good. I was quite happy with the size of the bike, the feel of the bike, the suspension feels great. Size-wise, the bike fits me perfectly. Yeah, so I took it up the local woods, just on the forestry tracks, just to get a feel for it. And yeah, I was quite surprised when I hit the first of the climbs. It's like, oh, I'm working hard here. I'm working hard. Compared to my other e-bike, the Giant Fathom E+3, which is the hardtail e-bike that I've had for 2-3 years now. It absolutely flies. It's a cross-country style bike, being a hardtail. And the Reign is, of course, an enduro bike, which is a big clue that the two bikes are different. But my initial impression was like, oh, is there a problem with this thing? Because you hit the climb, and normally I would keep my assistance level down and just use the cadence of the motor, get the legs spinning, and you could feel the motor assisting you pulling you up the hill. It's not the case with the Giant Reign. So I contacted my supplier and voiced my concerns. Said, well, I'm not happy with the product. I think there might be a fault. And they told me if I think there's a fault, they need to have a warranty claim. And for that, I need to take it to my local Giant dealer. Which luckily enough, there's one about 15 miles away from where I live. So I got the bike loaded up, took it to the local dealer. And they performed a diagnostic check on the bike and reported that there was no faults with the motor, battery, any electronics, anything. And they took it for a test ride, and it was as it should be. So I was a bit concerned because what a difference compared to my other e-bike, which is worth half the price of this one. And I thought, have I done the right thing here? Is this the way the bike should be? Is there actually a problem? Is there something I'm doing? And of course you can link the app to the bike. You can do your Giant Ride app. And you can turn up your assistance levels for the different programs for assistance on the bike, like your eco, your trail, up to turbo. So everything was turned full up. And I was having to ride the bike in full turbo mode to get the most out the motor. So I contacted the supplier again and said, well, look, this is the way the bike is. I'm not happy with the bike. I like to return the bike. And they say, okay, well, if you return the bike, it's at my cost. So the cost of returning a large package, like electric mountain bike, it's quite a lot of money. And then if the supplier then deemed the bike to be fit for purpose, as the Giant dealer had confirmed, I would then have to pay to get the bike shipped back to myself again. And I was like, I'm stuck with this thing. I decided to fix it myself. So I went and ordered a speed delimiting chip. Now, I'm not telling anyone that they should do this, but oh my god, what a difference. The bike is totally transformed. What I didn't realise was, of course, that for the UK, and I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other countries, that the electronic by law. So they're limited to 25 kilometers an hour, which is about 15 miles an hour, speed restrictions. So basically your motor will assist you to that speed, and then when that speed is reached, your motor cuts out, so then you're just as you and the bicycle, basically. But what I hadn't realised is the Reign E+3 is a monster of a bike. It is heavy. It's the largest battery, I think, in the range, the 800 watt-hour battery. That's twice the size of my Fathom. My Fathom was a 400 watt-hour battery. And of course, comparing it against my Fathom hardtail, I've got all the rear suspension to add in the mix as well, adding in more weight, and a dropper post. So it all kind of adds up. And basically what I was getting was when I hit my limit, the bike had so much weight, drag, big chunky tyres as well. The rolling resistance is high, must be on the bike. So when I got past the 50 mile an hour resistance, boom, that was me. It was hitting the brick wall, as it's known, which wasn't that apparent on my Fathom e-bike. So I decided to fix the bike myself, and the only way to do that is to take off the restriction. Now, I'm not riding this bike on the road. This is for trail riding, big days, adventures in the hills, whatever. I'm not going to be riding on the road. So, really, an enduro bike. What is an enduro bike? Speed limited. I know it's because you could ride on the road, whatever, but it's an enduro bike. You're not going to go doing the Tour de France with the bloody thing. So, yeah, I spent 150 quid on the Volspeed V4 chip. Yeah, it's quite a simple process. Cut battery to come out, basically make the bike safe when you're in and about the motor, so it doesn't start up or anything when your fingers are in there. Cut my covers to come off, and basically piggybacks in a couple of the plugs onto the motor. And then the worst part of it is just try to get all the wires and the chip tucked into the space that it's not supposed to be in, but just take a bit of time and attention just to get it tucked in and everything covers back on right to help you with being watertight. Because obviously down there in the motor, it's you're going to get all the splash. You're in the splash zone. So just make sure all the covers are back on and everything. And there's a little setup procedure. My bike does have a display that you can link your app to the bike, and you can set up when you want your speed restriction to come in. So you can, I think it goes up to like 50 kilometers an hour or something. You can raise the limit to, which is more than enough. But oh my god, just absolutely transforms the ride of the bike, and I love it. I've gone from hating it and wanting to return it within the first few days of ownership. Now I'm like, yeah, I want to keep this thing. I've got some big plans for when the weather's a bit better. It's a bit cold and icy today. So you're joining me, by the way, on a run to the tip dad life, you know what I mean? So I feel like I gotta get all this rubbish after the Christmas, New Year, having a big clear out. Gotta get space in the back of the van, because this is going to be another video series coming up. This is my new purchase, Volkswagen T5. She's rough and she's ready for an adventure or two. So we'll see how we go on. We're gonna get the back of this thing kitted out, get some mountain bikes in over the back, and get some day trips, maybe get back camping, various other things planned. So stay tuned, and hopefully the weather improves and I'll get out for a decent ride on the Reign, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.